Well, hello everybody and welcome to Act 3. We are, as always, so happy that you've joined us. It is March. Can you believe it? I know I am so excited to be warm again. It'll be great not to be cold, and the spring always brings wonderful things to our community. We have fundraisers happening. I'm going to tell you all about those during the show. We've got some fabulous guests today. I hope that you've grabbed yourself a beverage and you are ready to enjoy the show. Thanks for tuning in to Act 3.
I'm sitting on the edge of love and happiness. Never experienced such a moment as this. So if you got that good feeling in your body and you want to bring this moment to life, come with me, we'll hit the town. Let's go right now and live the life. I just want to shine like the sky up like a sunset, living with no regrets. I just want to shine.
Thanks, Kathy. My name is Elspeth, and I am here today with our guest, Christina Rajsic, who is with People for a Healthy Community on Gabriola Island. Christina is the executive director. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's really nice to have you here, Christina.
Thank you.
And it's really neat to hear about the work that your organization is doing. It sounds like it's an incredible, holistic organization. Tell us a little bit about what People for a Healthy Community does.
Well, we're the only social services organization on Gabriola.
Wow. Okay.
And so we have the food bank, we work with children in our garden program, we work with seniors, and we have an outreach program.
That's amazing. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it's incredibly impactful for the community, I know, and we're going to get to that in a second. So it's not a new organization, I think. It's been around for a little bit.
Yeah, it's been around for about 28 years.
Yeah.
It started in the back of somebody's car, as far as I know.
That's great.
And we sort of developed from there, where we were identifying needs in our community and then trying to fill those gaps. So it started with a woman who was trying to address domestic violence, and when we needed to create support for women who were leaving their house, they needed identification and food and clothing and shelter, and so we just kind of continued to build that in the community.
Wow, and really meeting needs as you find them and where you find them. That's incredible. And I mean, I think it's so wonderful that you're based in the community that you're serving, and you and all of your volunteers. You said you had a number of staff and volunteers working with you.
Yeah, we have about 20 to 22 staff and about 170 volunteers.
Wow, that's a big operation. And you're serving people all across Gabriola.
Yeah, we probably have about 1,000 visits a month. And so Gabriola has a population of 4,500 permanent residents, and it rises to about 10,000 over the summer.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is, and so the community who comes to see us is probably about 1/4 between, and we give food to many of them by providing some kind of lunch. We provide lunches for their seniors program. We provide lunches for our hot lunch for the kids in the school.
Oh, fantastic.
A soup social for people just to come and drop in and have soup in the afternoons on Tuesdays and Fridays.
That's terrific. And I guess it's not only got visitors that come to obviously seek support and visitors that come to volunteer, but it's something that's impacting the entire community.
Yeah, and so the people who come on Mondays and Fridays are our seniors program. We provide a lunch, and it's really for supporting family and caregivers because for people who have early onset Alzheimer's or dementia, and sometimes they need a place to bring their loved one, and so they can go and have some time for themselves.
That's really amazing. And you also mentioned, I mean, you've mentioned several of the programs, but a program that helps to get people to medical appointments. That's actually really fantastic on an island.
Yeah, so transportation, of course, being bound by a ferry sometimes is difficult for people to get around. And so we do have a program called Medigo, which We'll pick up door-to-door service. We'll pick somebody up, bring them across. We do have advanced boarding for the ferries so that we
That's
don't,
important.
so we're not in line, and then we bring them to their appointment, wait for them while they're at their appointment, and then bring them back to their homes.
I mean, it's really, as you talk about it, it's so much people being community for others in their community. It's a wonderful concept, and it's something you want to build on.
Yeah, our tagline is neighbors helping neighbors.
That's really nice.
And so that's why we have a really strong volunteer pool, which supports also those members who might be more isolated. And so we're creating a real volunteer community there, as well as other members of the community trying to support each other as well.
We're going to have to wind up pretty soon, but I just really want the viewers to hear your idea of really developing something special, a community hub that will be even more than just these services that you provide. Just in 10 seconds or less, can you tell me what that's going to be?
Well, we're bursting at the seams in our building, and we were thinking that we'd like to try and create a hub. And so PHC, or People for a Healthy Community, would be the backbone organization of a community hub that creates a gathering space and support and resources for anybody who wants to come in, and other organizations who might need to have some kind of admin or other types of support.
That's fantastic. That's wonderful. We have to close off now and
Thank
hand
you.
off, but for anyone who wants to get to know more about the organization, to learn about the services you offer, to volunteer, and to donate, which is always important, the website is going to be at the bottom of the screen, and I hope that people will. Thank you so much, Christina.
Thank you very
What a
much.
treat.
Thanks.
Over to you, Teresa.
Thanks, Elspeth. We are going to continue to talk about community care. My guest today is Darcy Faulkner. She's the owner of Comfort Keepers here on Central Vancouver Island. Welcome, Darcy.
Thank you, Teresa, for having me.
How did you get involved with Comfort Keepers? What's your background? The audience loves to hear the backstory.
Thank you. Well, I'm a veteran RN, 40 plus years of being a registered nurse. I was a director of care of a facility in the Mid-Island area for Vancouver Island for many years, looking after a facility there with lots of caregivers, lots of clients. There were many times when clients would come into my facility and ask me to please let them go home. So setting up Comfort Keepers, which is my business, is really a step where I feel like I was listening to what they were wanting. So the home care business, we now have a whole of Central Island that we look after, from Bowser through to Ladysmith, across to Port Alberni. Huge area. I have about 50 caregivers that work for me and 6 girls in the office.
Wow, that's amazing. And it is so important for people to be able to stay at home if they want to. And it's important that they're safely staying at home.
Yeah. So it's not just, get the care and throw caregivers at it. We have registered nurses and LPNs. We write care plans. We are constantly in there evaluating the care just to make sure it's the right care for the person. And care evolves all the time. These people are changing all the time. And keeping a close eye on that is so important.
And the social isolation aspect too is so important, because a lot of seniors, they don't get the ability to go out as much as they used to and socialize.
That's right, that's right. Having somebody come in that can take them out to do some shopping, can go for a walk along the boardwalk at the beach. They meet people, they see the dogs, they see the ocean, they light up. Bringing joy back into these people's lives at this point in their life is so important, so important.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I know, just from people I know who have had help, their life is just changed so much for the better.
Yes.
Like a new life.
Yes. I mean, sometimes the hardest part is talking them into it, that they actually need it, because they think that they are doing fine, but everybody can see they're not.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing to allow a little bit of care, because a little bit of care goes a very long way.
I always say to myself that, boy, I'm going to take help when I get older. I want to take help. So Darcy, you are going to be an exhibitor at the Oceanside Health and Wellness Fair that's taking place in Qualicum on April 16th.
Yes.
So people can come and talk to you there and talk to many other exhibitors who are going to be there.
And this is a great space, Teresa, for people to come and find out what is available for seniors or anybody in the community to access when they have questions or when they have needs. It's a great place to come. So April 16th, we'll be there.
Yes, and that's great. And yes, and they can access that information all under one roof. There's going to be presentations, there's going to be activities, door prizes, and it's free to attend. So we invite everyone to come out and see Comfort Keepers and see the other 30 plus vendors who are going to be there.
That's right. It'll be a great day.
It will be. Thank you so much, Darcy, for what you do in the community, and thank you for being my guest.
Thank you for having me, Teresa. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. All right, Kathy, it's over to you.
Thank you, Teresa. You know, it's always great to see Darcy. What a wonderful interview. Thank you so very much, both of you. I am really delighted to have with us on today's episode, Ceri Peacey, and she has been an advocate for Hamilton Marsh. And today we have the best news. Let's share that.
Okay. Do you want me to give a little background before we move on, or just launch?
Oh, I think maybe we should give the audience a little bit of a background.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Hamilton Marsh is located 5 minutes from Qualicum Beach. It's a 36-hectare wetland sitting on 360 hectares of mature growth forest. It is the largest body of water in the French Creek watershed that thousands rely on. It is also a large peat bog, and peat being the most effective carbon sink in existence.
Yes.
And so when I discovered this place 20 plus years ago, that was when I learned that water doesn't just come out of the tap. There's actually a whole ecosystem with it, that birds needed places to travel to and have babies, that dragonflies were incredible, and that just how much we and the wildlife need large wild spaces. So I figured I'd just get all dressed up, do a PowerPoint, straighten my hair, wear a black suit, and present to the RDN because they were the government in charge. So I just thought they'd fix it. Oh my God, I was naive. But what ended up happening is, with different, we went through many metamorphosi, if that's even a word.
Perfect.
But totally we go out and present and just educate people over and over again about why we need Hamilton Marsh and the whole thing. Because early in my adventures, there was a deal on the table and it fell through at the last minute, but it was just for a wetland and a buffer. And I was crushed, like really crushed. And but now it's like, weren't we lucky? Because now we've got the whole 360 hectares. I know. And I was told along the way, it's too big, it's too little, it's too expensive, it's too this, it's too that. And we kind of caught wind a little bit that there were conversations between the landowners and the RDN. And so our job, as those things usually happen between those parties, not us, that we would just go out to different events and we would show people why we needed the whole 360. We had visuals, we had photos, we had reports. And so we just kept doing that. And so even though I was told many times it was impossible, I put my head down and thought, well, if it's impossible, I'm still going to give it everything we've got. And we were part of the Friends of French Creek Conservation Society, and we only recently became our own society about 3 years ago. So when this news came out in September, we weren't ready, right? Small little board, right?
Yeah.
And so, but we figured out what our role was as a funding partner, and that was in the storytelling. So we were constantly on social media. We have videos that were created, and we have just been out there. I speak to multiple groups, and so anyway, so we So what's happened, last time I was here, I was shamelessly seeking millionaires to make this dream come true.
Yes.
And now that I'm here, it's been amazing because, I'm not sure if I can say it's a done deal, but it really is a done deal. There's just a little bit of fine tuning. But I'll tell you, all the stewardship groups stepped up for this. They've been watching it for decades. I can tell you, and I almost would cry. Here I go. The number of people who walked into the Mount Arrowsmith Biosphere region and pledged money. They pledged money, big and little donations, but it just kept rolling. And then Nanaimo Area Land Trust took funds. They took straight up donations online. All I can, and the Arrowsmith Naturalists, they do our guided tours with us. I mean, I could keep talking for days to tell you all the partners and all the good people who are part of this vision making it happen. And I kind of love that they said it couldn't be done.
Well, here's the deal. It's a done deal. It's a done deal. So we can celebrate.
Yes.
And the call to action is everybody, you need to go and check out Hamilton Marsh. It's the Hamilton Wetlands and Forest Preservation Society. Will have the thing along the bottom. Please do reach out. It's been a pleasure to have you. I'm sorry, I wish we had more time, but oh my God, there's so much more I want to tell you. But
Thank you very much, Kathy. I'm Kevin Wagner, and I'm joined today by the Artistic Director of Vancouver Island Symphony. Her name is Cosette Justo Valdez.
Amazing.
Cosette, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Kevin.
I thought I was going to trip on the pronunciation, but I think
No,
you
you
got it.
didn't.
Oh, good.
You were perfect.
Wonderful. The Artistic Director of Vancouver Island Symphony, you are closing out the last of your third year doing this.
Yes, yes.
And I imagine it's been quite a ride.
Yes.
We have a show coming up that may or may not line up with the airing of this episode,
I know.
Majestic Mozart at the
Yes.
Port Theatre. But you and I today, we're going to talk about what's coming up in April.
Yes, yes.
Why don't we tell us a bit about what we have to look forward to in April as the Artistic Director?
Yes, April will be the final concert of my tenure as Artistic Director of the Vancouver Island Symphony, and we will have an ocean of musicians on stage. The program is fantastic, starting with a piece written by Lily Boulanger, who was the younger sister of the famous Nadia Boulanger, professor of many, many composers in history in Paris, and then later a composition by Gabriela Smith, a composer that is very young, in her 30s, still living in California, and she wrote a piece that is perfect for us because her piece, including extended techniques, meaning writing things that are outside of the normal for the instruments, you are going to hear the ocean, the whales, the birds. You're going to hear the experience and feel the experience of being in the Pacific Ocean. Was the ocean that inspired her for this piece. So this is going to be a fantastic work to experience live. And we have two poets invited that will, because April is a national poetry month.
That's right. You were saying
Yes,
that earlier. I
exact-
didn't know that.
Oh, well,
there we are.
I learned it and I teach you this now. So yes, we have two fantastic poets from Edmonton and Calgary. They are both poet laureates of these cities, Titi Lopez-Onuga and Wakefield Brewster. They are going to be coming here to perform their poetry, which is super amazing, and the way they perform it is really fantastic.
Sure.
And this is just the first half of the concert.
Yeah, it sounds, because you've described it to me, there's so much going on in it, not just like the musical component, which it just sounds so relevant. You talk about it being the ocean, the music itself, but there's so many other artistic components with the poetry, and then what does ballet factor in?
Yeah,
some point as well? There's so much more to talk about
exactly.
with it, yeah.
You're right. In the second half of the program, then we are going to do the suite number 2, rewritten by the composer himself, Sergei Prokofiev, of the ballet Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, okay.
And this is originally ballet, and now we're going to perform this suite. Now the two poets will become actors who will be saying words by Shakespeare between the movements. Very minimal amount of words, of course, there's no time.
Yeah.
But then we have a ballerina that was in the Cuban festival that we presented now in February.
Right.
And I discovered her, and she's fantastic. And she's the age today that that Juliet was in the story. So
Okay.
14 years old, a fantastic ballerina, and she will bring a male partner too. So this piece will become a journey with the ballet originally intended for it in some numbers, and poetry, I mean the words of Shakespeare also included in the piece.
Holy cow, there's a lot going on.
Yes.
That sounds like a lot. As an artistic director,
It is
there's a lot going on there.
Yes,
Sure
but
enough.
it's great to dream and then make it happen, right?
And entirely. And then for people that might not be as familiar with it, you do prior to the show a pre-concert talk.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Tell us a bit about that, because I think it gives people a chance to really connect with what they're about to see. Tell us a little bit about that.
Exactly. So the concert is at 7 p.m. That will be on April 23rd.
Right.
And then 1 hour before the concert at 6:30 p.m. at the port inside. So the audience is sitting where their seats are, and we are from the stage, me and my guests.
Yeah.
We are going to be talking with the audience, sharing with them a lot, and also answering questions if they have them, to give them a lot of context about what they will experience. And then we were talking before the interview how amazing it is to have a lot of context.
Yeah.
For then you receive the story as you wish, but it will allow you possibly to experience a more intense journey, right?
What you're describing sounds like something people are going to feel, but the pre-concert talk maybe gives them a chance to feel it even more so. So let's talk real quick about where can people go for information about the show, the venue. Where are we going for that information right now?
So they should go to the websites of the Port Theatre, or I think you can even call the Port Theatre for tickets, and also the website of the Vancouver Island Symphony.
Okay.
I myself have never done that, so people ask me, how do you do that? You just go there, find it, and click and buy the
Go
ticket,
from there.
because I never do it
I think
myself.
people can navigate it. They'll be tech savvy enough. Cossette, thank you so much for sharing it. That sounds like a really terrific show. This is going to be in April, so I encourage our viewers to go and check that out. Thank you for taking the time to come and share it with us.
Thank you, Kevin. It was really joy and honor to speak with you.
Mutual. Thank you so much. We're going to throw it over to Mark now.
Hi, I'm Mark, and today I'm here with Dean Thullner and Jeremy Mailloux, and we're going to be talking about the Red Heart Breakfast. And so maybe if we could start with you, Jeremy, why don't you give us a little background?
Well, I'm going to give you a little bit of background on Volunteer Nanaimo, and my esteemed colleague Dean is going to tell you more about the Red Heart Breakfast. I certainly dress for the occasion, my red shirt. But as Kathy mentioned last episode, for those of us that follow the show from episode to episode, Volunteer Nanaimo has hit a bit of a snag. They're one of our most esteemed nonprofits here in Nanaimo. They've been around for over 40 years. They've engaged thousands of volunteers over that 40 years and engage hundreds of people every year. Some of the services that they offer, because people hear Volunteer Nanaimo and maybe they know about Christmas Angels, and those pieces range from what they originally started offering, which is to connect willing volunteers with nonprofits that were looking for volunteers. That was their original sort of shell. They've grown far beyond that and added senior and youth programs that include things like taxes, tutoring, computer access for folks that don't have access to technology. There's a whole gamut of senior activities that they're doing every month right now, from bingo to workshops and crafting sessions. The youth are involved in all sorts of things, dating back to Youth 2020 campaign. It's literally a shocking amount of work for such a small organization to do. And as Kathy mentioned last month, they are in trouble. Almost every dollar, I've done a little bit of work for them with grant writing, and almost every dollar that Volunteer Nanaimo makes goes directly into programming. There's almost never an administrative portion taken. And not because of that, but because they've really focused on giving back to the community, they're now in a little bit of trouble financially. So Dean and I started a company called Little Events. You might have heard about our glitter program. And we decided to revive one of Dean's great events from previous years to support Volunteer Nanaimo. And that's the Red Heart Breakfast.
Well, that's fantastic. I mean, they are an amazing organization. I love the fact that you two are stepping up to support them in this. So, Dean, why don't you tell me a little bit about Red Heart Breakfast?
Well, Red Heart Breakfast is not a new project in Nanaimo, but Red Heart Breakfast is definitely part of our company, LITL Events. And it is basically what we call a call to action event. And so every year we choose a different organization to support that may need action or support. In fact, you can actually apply on our website to be the recipient of Red Heart Breakfast moving forward. But this year, we realized that Volunteer Nanaimo is in desperate need of help. So we are throwing the Red Heart Breakfast at the Vancouver Island Conference Center. It's on Wednesday, April 29th, between 8:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. It is a free breakfast. We got a great corporate sponsor who's asked not to be disguised as being the person that's going to help support this. But again, it's a free breakfast. You have to go online at volunteernanaimo.ca and you can register for the event. And the idea is that if you go to the event, you must donate. This is definitely a call to action, like Kathy had mentioned last show and Jeremy just mentioned now. They are in need of our support. There isn't an organization in Nanaimo that hasn't reached out to Volunteer Nanaimo to get support, and it's our turn for the community to turn back and to be able to give back to them.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you both for for supporting them and coming to that organization's need. Because you're right, anybody in the charitable space is familiar with them. They've done countless good in the community, and yeah, thank you so much for supporting them. So, is there any other information people need to get involved, or is it?
No, again, you just have to go on the website and you have to register because there's a limited amount of seats. But I think the most important thing here is that we have to recognize that Volunteer Nanaimo is a very crucial and a very sustainable organization that has always been there for us, and it's important that the community definitely steps up to support.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Dean. Thank you so much, Jeremy. I appreciate you being on the show tonight. And yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to Act 3. We are always so glad that you come and that you join us, and we hope you have a really good time while you're here. You know, I am the luckiest woman in the world to be surrounded by arguably the best volunteers that they are. And as you know, Volunteer Nanaimo, we've just talked about it, is, one of the main sources of getting volunteers in our community. Laura Kelsey is going to be actually playing at the Red Heart Breakfast, and so we really do look forward to welcoming her and all of you, or many of you, to the Red Heart Breakfast, so don't forget to register. While we're all together this time, beyond doing the celebration that we love to do of our volunteers, we want to do a shout out to our dear friend Todd Jones. Todd is currently in Toronto with his family, and they're going through some challenges. His father is unwell, and so we're hoping that if you can keep it in your heart, keep our show in your heart, keep our friends in your heart, and all of your friends too that might be going through a hard time. We just want to give you our love, so everybody here is going to shout out, "Hey Todd, we miss you, buddy. Todd, we love you." We'll see you all next time on Act 3.